We're about to get our third season of Star Wars Visions, and we still don't have very many figures of the characters from it. Hello there, Star Wars fans, and welcome back to another RebelScum.com video review. Today, we are taking a look at the Star Wars Visions Karre figure that we got from our good friends over at BigBadToyStore.com, who still has this guy in stock. So if you don't have this character, click the link down in the description below so you can add him to your collection because he is very, very cool and incredibly articulated. Here he is in the packaging. You have that nice S.H.Figuarts packaging with that reflective packaging. Nice open window there where you can see Karre and all of his accessories, including if you want to do the Darth Karre outfit, because from the episode he's from, he and his twin sister Am are Darth Vader inspired twins who have a dark purpose in a galaxy far, far away that he chooses to turn away from. On the back, you've got some cool images of him and the Am figure that came out. Now, Big Bad doesn't have Am in stock, so get Karre while you still can to go with that Black Series Ronin figure you have in your collection. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. And here is Karre out of the packaging, and he looks awesome. I think both of his outfits, and you can do both of his outfits, on screen looked really cool, and I love that Bandai included the accessories for both. Now, personally, I definitely feel like they intended for Karre to be displayed in his heroic outfit that he has through the majority of the Twins episode in part 1 of Star Wars Visions. But again, I do really appreciate that we got both. And more on my thoughts on that later when we get him swapped over to his other outfit. This figure is fully articulated. Head is on a ball joint. Neck is also on a ball joint. Shoulders are on a socket ball joint on the inside that goes up and down. And then you have the actual shoulder joint itself as well. You have an upper swivel at the top of the shoulder there, double jointed elbows, wrist joints, and you have those rounded wrist joint sections right there with a peg on the end because this guy also has a variety of swappable hands. We'll go ahead and take a good close look at his unique lightsaber, which is very Vader inspired, as was his outfit and as is his sister's aesthetic as well. I like the big red activator button. We have a little red hook here, although unfortunately there's nowhere to really hook his lightsaber accessory onto him anywhere. Not even with his Sith outfit, which is one of my very few critiques about this figure release, is nowhere to store the lightsaber hilt. You do have a removable blade, and I like how it starts with like a darker purple and transitions to that brighter blue because on screen we watch him as he decides he's no longer going to be a pawn of the dark side, open his saber, take his red kyber crystal out, reattune it to blue, and then put it back in, and once he reignites his lightsaber, it starts out kind of reddish and then turns into this really pretty blue color. Waist is on a ball joint, and you have better range of motion with this outfit than his other outfit. Hips are on a nice ball joint, upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and ankles are also on those rounded style ankle joints, but you don't have swappable feet for this guy like you do with the hands. In addition to the face sculpt he comes pre-packed with, he also comes with these two swappable face sculpts, one where his mouth is open and his eyebrows are furrowed, and the other one where he's gritting his teeth and his eyebrows are furrowed. So we got a couple of aggressive or angry facial expressions here. I like this more neutral, almost jovial looking one myself, especially for this look. I feel like it's a much better facial expression. However, these other facial expressions would mix really well with his swappable grasping hands for like force grip like gestures, or maybe when he's tipping back over to the dark side a little bit. He comes with a pair of these open palm like gestures for like your force pushes and such. He comes with a pair of fists, which he comes packed with, and he has a pair of gripping hands so he can hold his lightsaber with either hand or both hands simultaneously. For his other outfit, he comes with this shoulder piece and wire cape, which I love the blue on the bottom of that cape. It's very pretty. And he comes with this swappable torso, which has his Sith helmet on. And what's also cool is you could also head swap this with that, so you could have him in his Sith outfit without his helmet on if you'd like. And before we swap out his outfit, here he is for comparison next to the Black Series full color of the Ronin. So you can see them both side by side. And so far, both of these Visions characters are available with our friends at BigBadToyStore.com. So if you liked Visions, you can add what few characters we have to your 6-inch scale collection today. Alright, swapping out his outfit for his other one is pretty simple and straightforward. What we want to do is we want to separate this torso section. There's a ball joint down here inside the waist, and there is the socket for this. We're going to push that down. You'll hear a nice loud snap, and there we have that section. And there is less movement right here, and I think that's because of this cummerbund-like armor section he has around his waist. So yeah, that kind of makes sense that he would have less articulation there than he would with this shirt right here. Next, we're going to take his arms out of the shoulder sockets like so, and we'll set that torso aside. There is his shoulder sockets right there. We're just going to push those in until we feel those click into place. You'll hear a little snap or pop, and maybe the lightsaber blade will fall out as well. And that's okay. Now, from here, what we want to do is take off these hands and put on his pair of gloved hands. Now, unfortunately, he won't be able, there we go, to hold his lightsaber with his gloved hands, because for the gloved hands, he just has closed fists. So if you want him to hold his lightsaber, you're going to have to leave this other hand bare, like so. And then we're going to take this collar and his wire cape here, and you want to make sure that these two little holes right here line up with these two outer holes on the collar section, and that the rest of this cape is just sitting under these two little pegs right here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our Karre, go over the neck with that collar piece, and then while maintaining those other bits, push down. There we go. Onto his shoulders. And there we have Darth Karre, if you will, with his cape on. And it looks really cool this way. And like I said, you can also head swap him if you so wish. Just take the head off of a ball joint. We'll go ahead and give him a face swap too, because why not? If he's going to be a Sith, it makes sense for him to look a little angrier in this other outfit. And oh boy, actually, that does look very, very cool. And for comparison with him in his Sith outfit, here he is once again next to the full color Black Series, the Ronin, also from Visions, so you can see the two of them side by side. And I wouldn't worry too much about the Ronin, because we know he can handle himself with a Sith. While we may not have a lot of characters from Visions represented in action figure form, the ones we have so far are pretty cool, and that goes for both S.H.Figuarts and Black Series. Stay tuned for more Visions character announcements, because we'll be covering them here on RebelScum.com as they get announced. So make sure you check the main website, like and subscribe, and follow us anywhere you can find us on social media so you don't miss out on any of that toy news, reviews, fan content, and more. Scan the QR code over here to check out all of our other various websites and channels, and you can follow me at Triptychonus on Instagram and TikTok for more Star Wars fan content, Roger content, Transformers fan content, and click the link down in the description below so you can order your very own Karre and get him in your collection. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. May the Force be with all of you, you rebel scum.